everybody, this is Dr. Guyton and I call myself the Genuine Scholar. Why? Because everything I do, I try to do it from the heart. I want to welcome you to another episode of I Won't Settle TV. Now for today's topic, I'm going to jump right into it because I don't have a lot of time. But one of my Facebook friends wrote me and said, Dr. Guyton, what is your opinion on this accidental racist song? And this is a song by Brad Paisley, I think that's how you say his name, and LL Cool J. And so I want to start by saying I'm glad that this is not a rap song because I'm used to, being critical of rap music. More so because I'm actually just accustomed to rap music and I'm more exposed to rap music and not country music. And so I'm glad they sent me this song. And so I read the lyrics for this song about 10 to 12 times because I wanted to try to get an understanding of what is being said in this song. And so the first thing is I read an article where Brad Paisley said that he didn't have negative intentions. I want to start by saying this. Brad Paisley, I don't think that Lil Wayne had negative intentions when he said the line about Emmett Till. I don't think that Rick Ross had negative intentions when he spoke about putting a Molly in somebody's drink. But ultimately, I feel that artists need to be held accountable for what they write, especially if I don't agree with it. And so I hold people accountable and I give my opinion on it because you selling this music, you making money off of it. So I think we have a right to be, critical of your works. And now, does my opinion really matter for some people or most people? It probably doesn't. But I still want to give my opinion on this. And I will say that I'm offended by this song. I'm offended by both Brad Paisley and LL Cool J. Yes, we got to talk about LL Cool J because, man, this song bothers me. So I want to talk about three quick things because I don't have a lot of time. I could spend a lot of time on this song and tear it apart from my opinion because this is all just my opinion. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is that Brad Paisley says in the song, the red flag on my chest somehow is like the elephant in the corner of the South, and I just walked him right in the room. Just a proud rebel son with an old can of worms, looking like I got a lot to learn, but from my point of view, I'm just a white man coming from the Southland. And that line almost comes off as if he's just the true meaning of ignorant to the fact that that flag is offensive to other people. And he's just a white man who's coming from the South. He just has Southern pride. And I don't know why this shirt is just the elephant in the room when I walk in. And I find it hard to believe that you are just that ignorant. I find it hard to believe that you don't understand why people are offended by that flag. I don't want to think that you're just that ignorant. I just don't. Because, see, I'm from the South. I'm from the deep South. I'm from the woods of the South. And I know that a lot of people in the South still don't like Yankees. Because let a white person or somebody from the North come down to the South, they'll be like, you're a Yankee. And so you can't tell me that that Yankee is referencing the Civil War, which is a war that was fought because the South, part of the reason was because the South wanted to keep slaves, wanted to keep their source of income, wanted to keep their labor. And so you can't tell me that you don't understand why people are offended by that flag. Because you haven't forgotten the Civil War, hence the reason you still have Southern pride. And so if you haven't forgotten the Civil War, if you did enough history checks or lessons, then you would know a big reason of why the war was fought. So you can't tell me you don't know why when you walk in the room, if I was in it and I look at that shirt and I'm like, whoa, you can't tell me you don't know why I said, whoa. You're not just that ignorant. You can't make me believe that. If you are that ignorant, then I don't think people need to be buying your music. You just can't be that ignorant. And so I'm not even going to spend a lot of time on you, Brad Paisley. Honestly, I want to talk to LL Cool J because there's some things you said in here that's just, I'm just offended beyond offended by some lines you said. One thing you said in here is, if you don't judge my do-rag, I won't judge your red flag. Now, I never ever recalled a moment when somebody who was black killed somebody and then they hung a do-rag up as pride. I'm gonna hang my do-rag because I killed this person. I don't recall that, but I do recall when some white men, especially the ones with the hoods that had that Confederate flag on their robe, I do recall sometimes when they killed black people and hung black people that they raised this flag that was a red flag from the South representing the Confederacy Southern pride. And so how can you say I won't judge that red flag if you don't judge my do-rag? I'm sorry, the do-rag is not a representation of black people. Do black people wear do-rags? Absolutely. But it's not a representation of our race. And we don't accept that as a representation of our race. But I will say that that red flag that you're referring to, Mr. LL Cool J, that red flag is a representation of Southern pride hinting back to the Civil War. Civil War meaning we wanted to keep slaves. So yes, I'm going finna judge that flag. That flag doesn't represent me. I'm from the South, so I can't have Southern pride based off that flag. I'm not wearing that flag because that's not Southern pride for me. Because to me, honestly, that's Southern torture. That's not Southern pride. And so for you to say we'll forget that, you can't compare those two. How can you compare those two? And let's go further with what you try to compare. You said if you don't judge my gold chains, I'll forget the iron chains. Now, this is probably more offensive than the last line, because a freaking gold chain that I can go in a cheap, I can go get some cheap gold and wear it around my neck, or I can go buy a real gold chain. You telling me something that I can put around my neck as a form of fashion. If you don't judge me based off this, I'll forget about the iron chains that were put on us when we were shipped over here from Africa. You telling me that I need to forget that, or we will forget that if you forget about a freaking gold chain that actually a lot of black people don't even wear. And so how can you even make that comparison? Maybe this song was in good spirit and it had good intentions, but that's highly offensive, because basically this song is almost telling me to forget what happened in the past. And that's what people always want to tell black people. We need to just get over it and we need to move forward in life. And that's what everybody's always saying, but nobody gets mad at the Jews whenever they bring up Holocaust. Nobody tells the Jews to forget that. So why are we always told to forget our past? Because the reason we are in a lot of the situations we are in today is a result of the past. And if you don't want to believe that and say just get over it and black people need to just work hard and do better, you are a fool in my opinion. And that's just my opinion, and you can roast me or whatever, because yes, are there things that we do wrong? Are there things that we can improve upon? Do we have people who munch off the system? Yes, we do. But when we look at it from a historical perspective, honestly, the reason why we are what we are is because of history. That is just the truth. We started from almost like Drake says, we started from the bottom, and we just not here yet. We are just not here, and people want us to believe that we are here, but we are not here, and we have not made it there. There is no equality. I mean, when you start from a deficit, it's just that hard to pull up to be equal, and we are not equal as much as people want to believe it. Do I have 3 degrees? Do I have a PhD? Absolutely. But are there still circles of individuals that I can never ever hang around or be with? Absolutely, because my skin color is still judged, and that's still based off the past. And so I'm very passionate about this. I'm bothered by this song. I think it's highly offensive. I would encourage you to go read the song. I would encourage you not just read it, but psychoanalyze it. Take your time and don't read it from the surface level. Read what it's saying, and then read how it applies to life. And then some of you may come to some of the conclusions I have, some of you may not, and that's okay. We all are able to have opinions. This is just my opinion. And so I want you to have an opinion. Give me your opinion. What you think about this song in the box, and let's have some healthy dialogue about it. All right, I hope y'all have a blessed day, and just God bless y'all.